I fucked that up. Here we go. Hey, bong bong.
Hey.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome to the Bodycast. I'm your host, Copasetic, and this is my co-host.
Pathogenic. What's good, everybody?
Our names kind of rhyme. That's I just fucking
very slightly. Not too bad. Good thing this is about rhyming words. This podcast.
Nobody's watching. But yeah, if you're a really novice and you wanted to rhyme copacetic and pathogenic, I love it. I don't know about you, but I love hearing people say my name in battles. Like, he's like, oh, fuck that fucking copacetic. I'm listening for it. Like, it's like, oh, I think you're so pathetic. If I could tell the future, I'd be so prophetic. And then I'm all like, oh, what's next? It's like, oh, I fucking hate copacetic. But yeah, I don't know. I just went on a rant. Funny. Welcome to the show. It's our Rap Battles Bodycast. Of course, r/Rap Battles is a subreddit. It's the official subreddit of the international culture of battle rap. You can find us on Reddit, Twitter, Instagram, the official Discord server. They're all in the links below, and we're very accessible. We're everywhere. This is the only place for fans to go for battle rap news from around the globe. It's the Bodycast.
Worth the check
for real. So happy to have you back and be able to kick it. How are you doing?
Doing pretty good. Every week I get a little bit better. I'm starting to reach my healing plateau is what I've been calling it, because when everything's really, really wrong, you notice how much you're healing, how quickly, and you're like, holy fuck, I feel way better today. And eventually it gets to the point where all the easy stuff that you've healed through is like done and out of the way, and now my ribs just fucking hurt.
Damn, still.
Yeah, and I get like, I have some days that I'm really fucking sore and I can't do a whole lot of nothing, and some days where I'm actually not too bad, but I can tell that my healing is on a little bit of a decline lately.
Damn.
But overall, I'd say that I'm great.
That's cool, man. I mean, shit. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, but it's been a couple months now, right?
Yeah, actually it was January 10th, so it was 2 months on March 10th.
Damn, amazing. Because you look great.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate that. I feel good.
You look great. Yeah, right? Fuck it. Let's go. Yeah. Let's get big. And then travel the world and yell at people for money. So let's get into it. Well, very interesting week. This week, more things happened than weeks previous. This was a very busy week. Of course, we had on Sunday the King of the Dot semifinals, which happened. And that was very exciting because it also had a title match. Damn, was that last week?
Yeah.
Time flies.
Right?
Yeah. Did you end up seeing that?
I saw the whole thing, and I feel so bad for you international judging people that had to fucking judge that.
Yeah, that was nerve-wracking. That's our first ever title match, and there's obviously judging all the battles in the season is a big deal, but the title match is like, this is the thing,
Yeah.
Head Ice versus Roan. There were a bunch of different, I think, title matches where people were like, oh, KOTD was doing something, and this is the first one where it's like, well, that's not KOTD. It's somebody else entirely. So it has to go well for us, for KOTD as well, for it to work for KOTD in the future, and for us to be able to show other people, hey, listen, we did a title match here, and we split it down the middle and let the fans decide. We kind of did our job, so I mean, it worked. Not going to argue, but incredible title match, incredible event for only 4 battles. I thought it was really cool to see Appa from EFM and Anti-Hero. Those guys were dope. Potato, fuck. Appa was crazy. Appa was really like funny and yeah.
He's great. He's done a lot in a short period of time. Good for that guy.
Real. Yeah. It's really impressive to see somebody who just embraces it like that and understands it to that level. And then I thought Anti-Hero had a lot of good stuff too. I thought he had a lot of great energy and he was very unique, very original. I didn't know what the fuck he was saying sometimes. And I really like that. I like that style personally, but decent match.
Yep.
Just myself.
Yep.
And then the fucking semifinals. My God. I mean, I think, let's like start Pass versus Shoddy P, because I think that a lot of people were under the impression that this was going to be one-sided. And Shoddy P has made his career off of being the underdog, really, in all of these matchups. And he still shows out and finds a way to make it competitive, if not get the win. So I don't know. What did you think about this battle?
I thought that everyone coming into it had kind of seen what putting Shoddy as the underdog had done. I mean, every time he was coming through with another W. And this time going against Pass, this is like his biggest challenge yet, especially in the semifinals. And it just so happened that there was some history between the two of them. So I thought that made the battle that much better. Shoddy calling out Pass in the past, ironically. Right. And then all of this stuff that was happening and what was going on between them. I thought it was a great close battle. And I can't remember if it was a judge or a comment that I had seen on the stream that had said, if you liked rapping, then Pass took that. And if you liked punching, then Shoddy took that. And I thought that it was a style clash for sure. It was a great way to show off both of them. I think Shoddy's going to get a lot of good looks moving on from this point. And Pass is dangerous, especially when he's motivated like he is lately.
Yeah. I can definitely see that. A style clash, I would say, the way that Pass performs and integrates his writing and his subtext, it's very masterful. It's very, it's all one piece. And I think when he's really punching inside of his style, he's unbeatable. It's incendiary. It's crazy. And Shoddy is, a lot more of a puncher, relying on punches. But Shoddy has, I think, a wider range when you're talking about humor and bringing that dimension to it. And that is a super trump card, especially in competitive battles, because if you don't use it right, it can hurt you. If you're not experienced in using it correctly, it can fall flat and hurt you. But if you're like a dunce, or you're like, you don't even need to win the other rounds because you've burned this image or this, this angle into somebody's. I felt like his nose jokes versus Caustic won a lot of judges over. When he used in his third round, he was very funny. And I feel like that might have, influenced. So it's something that he had. Again, really close. I think the judges had it 4-2 for Pass. So, I don't know if Shoddy won the fan vote. I should know. I know all of this stuff, but I don't have it in front of me. I actually do have it right in front of me, but I'm not going to look at it because I have it right here. No, got it. Thank you, Google, for telling me stuff. Shoddy P. Okay. Pass won the fan vote. Okay. So fair enough. Great battle. And I think most people expected Pass to be in the finals. So it's sort of like.
Yeah, which is great for him, especially because he wasn't originally in the season itself. He was sort of a late addition to it. Yeah. So it's really cool as a story to come into the whole tourney late, or the whole season late, and then end up in the finals. I think that's great.
Yeah, really cool storyline for the difficulties that the West Division had in booking guys. And then he just steps in. He's like, fucking, let's go to the playoffs. And then just pow, amazing performance. We get amazing battles with him and Fate and him and Cali Smooth.
Yes.
And really impressive. His whole run up to the playoffs. He's going to need it, but we'll get into that. Bill Collector versus Mac Myron. What a lot of people are calling, one of the early Battle of the Year contenders.
One of the best battles I have ever seen. Easily.
Masterful,
for
sure.
You were just talking about how humor can be a trump card, and you put two of the most naturally funny people against one another. And not only are they funny, but they can weave in between being hilarious and punching and writing really complex material and literally putting them up against one another. And that was crazy.
Yeah,
I think so impressive.
If we had to find a nuance between their styles, I mean, they're both incredibly well-rounded. They do everything. I feel like it's sort of similar to the last battle in that Bill has found a bag where he's just, I feel like it's like what do you call that when it's like freedom of thought? That sort of, it's more like, oh man, it's like a poetry term. I should know this, but I don't. So there. So whatever. But like where you just sort of like, it's like almost freestyle. Like his thoughts are just coming as he creates. It feels very natural, feels very flowy. Just like Mac is, a lot more structured, a lot more, this is how it's going to land every 4, that sort of thing. Not like that's, restricts him in any way, but I feel like that's probably the nuance between the two.
Yeah.
And
definitely. Mac's impersonation of Bill at the start of his third round might be one of the funniest things I have ever seen.
Yeah. And he's been killing with those impersonations. So it's like smart to just go back to it. But that might be the moment of the battle, in a battle filled with moments. Really.
Yeah. I honestly,
go ahead.
I know it was close. I thought I had Mac winning it. I thought I had Mac edging that battle. And I know there was a lot of people in the chat, like the fans especially, thought that Mac had taken it, and then it was close in the judging decision too. But really, is there a wrong answer when it comes to putting one of them forward after such an amazing battle? You kind of got to be like, I thought he won, but both of them killed it. So, I mean, I wasn't upset by any means that Bill made it. I wouldn't have been upset if Mac was there either.
I'll tell you, as the commissioner, I didn't even know, like running the scores for the thing. I saw it the same way you did, and I was like, oh, Mac won this, amazing, he beat Bill. This is incredible. And I start to see the judging coming in, and it's like Bill Collector, Bill Collector, Bill Collector. I'm like, oh no, are we going to be in trouble? Like, obviously, it's the first thing that hits me. But no, there was like a lot of people that really preferred Bill's material, and I was like, okay, safe. We know it's close. We know it's a preference thing. Some people like this. Some people like, I really like Mac as well. I really liked his stuff. But when you think about the finals, here's two guys who have this, almost impressive historic storyline jumping into the season, and they both have a similar style. Like, Pass. When I think about Pass and Bill Collector for the finals, it's a lot of rapping. It's a lot of punches where I want to punch, not necessarily where you're going to expect it. There's going to be wordplay throughout. It's not important that I, hit certain beats because you're going to, it's the whole piece. And lots of energy and lots of rapping. Like they cut through all of the competition with a somewhat similar style. Like if I looked at their attributes, just really, I don't know. What do you think about the title match or the final match? Not the title match, the final match, the finals.
Bill and Pass. I have a feeling. So this is where it's an interesting battle tactic, I guess. And this is something that I like to do when I'm going into battles, is I try and find what the weakness is, what's going to give me an edge. It's like playing a game of chess. And so do I see Bill being like, I have to be funnier because being funnier will beat Pass when he's just rapping? it's kind of one of those, do I do the same thing that you do? They have similar styles. Does Bill just try and out rap Pass? Is that a good strategy? Does Pass try and be funnier and not rap all the time to try and match Bill? Or does he just stick with what he knows and stick with what's working for him? So I think that there's a lot of different avenues that the finals can go in. And as a fan, I'm excited to see it. I just can't wait for it. So
Yeah, that's a really good point. When we were talking about like the dimensions, Bill has that bag. You know, he can be funny. It's a little bit of a gamble, especially I find like in high tension matches where there's a lot on the line. Then it's like for humor to work, you have to be as relaxed as possible. You have to not care. And I mean, we can bring that up with the title match as well. But yeah, I mean, he's also a master at it. It's also not new to him. Like Bill's been doing this for a long ass time. If anybody can do it in that situation,
it's
so yeah. Yeah, really, really interesting. I've been loving this, the playoffs and how it's all shaked out. I mean, you know, it's a great showcase. It's like sad that guys have to be eliminated because there's so much really great talent that put on for this season, and this is what it is. Best of the best.
And one of the coolest things that I found about it too is seeing how matchups that people have always wanted to see end up just happening naturally through the playoff format or through the season itself. Like everyone wanted to see Dungeon Bill Collector. And of course, it just so happens that it's in the playoffs, right? It just works out that way. And that's what I like. It's not something that has to be booked. It just ends up happening. So I really have liked that about the system too.
Yeah, it's cool. I really hope they come back with I mean, they obviously make some tweaks and KOTD comes back with it again. It's really crazy stuff. We got the boys watching. Hello, gentlemen, and sorry I've been missing your comments here, but my guy Mongers,
What's good, Mongers?
Shout out to Surrey. Got Jimmy Stacy, who believes that Bill Collector is going to win the whole thing.
Hey, how's it going, Jimmy?
Fair
That's
enough.
My guy.
And then Young Franklin as, of course, Young Franklinstein. So, you know, I mean, 50-50. It's a coin toss. Yeah, definitely believe it's a style preference for sure. But, you know, with what you said about those extra factors, stuff we'll be looking for to see what happens. Speaking of which, super intense battle, super high stakes, the title match. Damn. Yep. Third defense in a row for Real Deal, the champion of King of the Dot. Man, what'd you think?
I think that it solidified him as one of the best overall, not just in King of the Dot, that's a given, but overall to be able to take on Saint, who had a lot of promise coming into the title match itself. I know lots of people thought that Saint was going to take it from him. And I remember getting towards the end of it and being like, oh, okay, that's another defense for Real Deal. I gave it to him I gave it to him 2-1, the second and third. The thing I noticed about Saint is that he comes out like crazy in his first round to the point where I was thinking, oh man, it's looking like it's over for old Trevor there. But the second and third were just not up to snuff with what Real Deal brings. His angles are crazy. One of the best to ever angle.
Yeah. Walk me through that battle. You saw the first and you thought Saint is just his energy is off the charts. Yes. So this looks dangerous.
Yes. So
the second round is the contentious one.
That is exactly what I thought too. I thought that the second round was going to be the debatable one. Something that I was wondering, I didn't know if Saint had a bunch of people that he had brought with him, but it looked like he had people on his side that were reacting a little heavier for stuff that I was like, I don't know if that garners that kind of reaction necessarily, but that's beside the point. Obviously, when you got good judging, it doesn't matter. The crowd can't sway your opinion on that. But I thought that the second round was very close. I did think that Real Deal edged it, though, just with the way that he was angling out at Saint and what he was saying.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the third round for sure, Saint was seemed like he was having a lot of trouble, so it's hard to give him that round.
Yes.
I think that's universal. I think that's the consensus. I think most people have it 2-1 either way. When I saw like how intense Saint was for the first half of the battle, for the first 2 rounds, it was. I thought Real Deal is going to lose this battle. His response, Real Deal's response to Saint's first, I felt like because Saint had such a frenzied tempo, that Real Deal maybe tried to keep up with it a little bit and just tried to like fight back with some bars. But
Yep.
his material was more comedic and needed more room to breathe. And so like I didn't get the time. I don't feel like I got enough time to really let the weight of some of the things he was saying sink in, and it
Mhm.
looked rushed. And then it felt like, okay, well, if you're just going bar to bar, if this is just what you're going to do versus Saint, then you're lost this round. But your strength is your angling, your humor, and the bars is being well rounded, and definitely, the second Saint's second was also very fire and had a lot
Mhm.
of really, amazing punches. And I remember thinking at the end of his second, that's tough to beat.
Yep.
If he's got 2 rounds right now, it may not matter what happens in the third, because in your mind, you're thinking, going first is always a disadvantage. And that may be the reason that Real Deal won. But in your mind, you're thinking, that's 2 rounds. That's it. You
Yeah.
know, um, he has to be incredible to for his second to win this and then take the third. He has to be better than the image we have of Saint. But also, again, you go in second, the recency bias. Real
Yes.
Deal had a really good second. He was much more relaxed. He was much more well paced. And I thought, it's a close call and really difficult to judge. But then he got the third, so it's 2-1 either way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great title match. Great way to end the event, especially having Shoddy P and Pass and then Mac and Bill, and then the title match were 3 classic King of the Dot matchups back to back to back. Oppa and Antihero was a great opener too, as just like a regular matchup. But man, those 3 were crazy.
So I'll tell you I'll spill some shit. I'll spill some beans on. I'm gonna think about this. Am I allowed to say this stuff? I'm sure it's fine. Like, I mean, we have full transparency with the IJC. We do everything with the aim of being transparent and fair. So like we had trouble. Some of the judges couldn't get their streams going at the right time, or they missed something, and we replaced them. So we've got a system of our judges, but we also have primary and secondary backup judges. So in case anything happens along the stream, I think for the reason that we took so long for one of the decisions was one of the judges had troubles with their stream, and we needed to replace them with the secondary judge. So it's just like that stuff happens all the time, and we're prepared for it. But it's fucking nerve wracking.
Oh my God.
You were just like, my heart's like, did you? I didn't see that one. Damn, really? You didn't see that one? And then you change the scores. It's just like, man, it's it's really intense, and I'm glad we got out of it unscathed. But yeah, great event, really dope shit. Let's keep it moving because we got a lot of stuff to talk about. Yeah, great event. Bong bong. The drops this week: Cheetah versus Myverse from the Rap Committee.
Yes.
Myverse's return.
Long awaited.
For real. She's doing great promo. She's she takes care of her brand very well, and it's similar to Jazz. When she comes back, when she has a battle, everybody's paying attention.
Yep. And this was the crazy thing was this was a 1-rounder, right?
Yeah, little one.
When I looked at it originally, when I saw the length of time on the battle, I was like, oh shit, she's doing a 3-rounder too. Because it's like between 20 and 25 minutes long. So there was no way I thought that it could be a 1-rounder. But then sure as shit it was.
It was impressive.
Does she normally do one rounders? Is that the thing? Because I think it's the thing with her in the UK was a one rounder too, wasn't it? Or am I smoking weed?
No, I think you may be smoking weed, but I think that it was a one rounder.
Shouts out to Verse Tracker every time.
Because I think her last 3-rounder was RX on Town Business.
Right, that's right. Okay, so she's not averse to doing 3 rounds.
No,
but,
not at all. But
yeah,
I think
wow,
her price was probably quite a bit different for a 1-rounder versus a full 3-rounder.
Yeah, Verse Tracker is showing only 4 battles in the last like 6 years, which is really impressive to have that. I don't know if that's accurate. Maybe there's some stuff that's not dropped, but yeah, really impressive. She's really built a legacy for herself and for her brand in battle rap culture.
And especially to continue to put out high quality performances with such big breaks in between. Not like when you're doing things too much, you can also start to stale yourself out. And if you do things too little, you can start to kind of not figure things out the same way. So having high consistency at only 4 battles or 6 battles in the last however many years, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it is. She's rapping all the time. She's a rapper. She's rapping all the time. That's part of it. Definitely keep your sword sharp. This was a style clash. I don't even know. This is just such a big difference in, I think, experience and the way that Myverse was able to like paint a picture. I felt like she did a lot of like storytelling and laying things out and just pulled you along. And Cheddar, I felt like was she was dope. She came with a lot of verse name flips and like Myverse and Reverse Live get all the verse name flips. So like if it's too much, if it's all the time and it's like like I don't know. That said, Myverse also had a lot of Cheddar name flips. So it's fair enough.
I guess the only difference being, and this is the shitty thing about name flips that you can have, is if the thing you're flipping has 2 different meanings, you can trick yourself into thinking that you're not always using a flip. Like cheddar can be money, cheddar can be like cheese. And so Myverse was flipping that lots, but she wouldn't always stay with it being a money flip. She'd do food flips. She'd do a couple other things. So it is always the same flip, but it's sort of different in a weird way.
You're using them differently. Yeah. If I just battled you and I just did path name flips about like the dusty path or the path less traveled or a bike path, it would be like I would do that though. I would do a whole round of them. Fuck you. But yeah, great battle. Good to watch. Check out the Rap Committee. Definitely subscribe to their shit. And then RBE had 2 great battles drop over the course of the week. Yes,
and what I thought about the 2 battles. So for those who don't know, it was Ill Will versus Reed Dollars, and it was Big K versus Jay Mills. And before we get into each of the battles individually, one of the things that I noticed watching each of them was the big difference between Reed and Jay Mills, both being older guys from a different battle rap sort of generation, and both of their different ways of adapting to the new sort of style. And so I thought that you could see very clearly how Reed has adapted and sort of changed what he does while still staying true to his roots and doing things his way, but still adding in those kind of newfound ways. Whereas Jay Mills just kind of did the same old thing that he's always done and ran into the dog, and you don't want to do that against Big K. Big K was fucking hilarious in his 3rd round.
Yeah, he's Big K is it's a really dangerous style. It's like fun to listen to. God, it's so fun to listen to. Sometimes you get these guys, they're so long-winded and you just don't know where it's going. And Big K, it's like, here you go, punches, and it's great all the time. Go.
Yep.
You know? Yeah, really, really impressive. Obviously, it's the status quo. And yeah, I agree with you. That's a really perfect summation of what happened. Reed Dollars is Ill Will is great, and I think everybody's sort of, it's less about like how's Ill Will going to do against Reed Dollars, and more like how's Reed Dollars going to do against Ill Will. And he's great. I feel like it's the same Reed that battled Rum Nitty, you know, where people thought that was going to be really one-sided, and it was like, damn, this is fucking great material. This is, you're really fucking rapping, you're really battling, and it sounds dope, and it's great punches, and it's really like, I don't know, stands out. And
I guess the thing too is that Reed's last battle, which I might be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure it was Mook on Summer Madness or whenever that was, and I remember everyone being like, that was terrible.
Horrendous.
Yeah, Mook and Reed was terrible. And I think that was because Reed, knowing that Mook was also from his previous generation, was planning on outdoing that style to him. Whereas against Rum, against Ill Will, it's more important to be more new, more modern with those modern battlers than it is against Mook. But
that's fascinating.
But I thought that Ill Will and Reed was a great battle. Minus the hype man. I think everyone's been making a big deal of the hype man there.
Yeah.
That was
Goody
a little wild.
Yeah, he's it's an acquired taste. I love it because it reminds me of you know, our shit, you know, small room shit, where it's just sort of like, take it less serious, you know, take it less serious, guys. And but I know some people were upset by that. What is your, you know, we talked about this a couple times now. If you are going up against somebody who has a very specific style, is it, you know, depend on the rapper, or is it sort of like you're always going to find a contrast with your style and overpower them, or you try and beat them at their own game? Because that seems like a common thread.
I think it depends on how impressive that attribute is. Like if I was to battle somebody like Rum Nitty, I'm not going to try and out punch Rum Nitty. He's the best at it. And so there's no point in me trying to out punch him. If I was to go against Pat Stay, I'm not going to try and out funny or out sarcasm Pat. That's a terrible lane to try and go in. I think that people who are more well-rounded, if you find the skill that you are the best at and somebody's good at a lot of things, to focus on the thing that you're the best at, because you're going to try and edge them out on that sort of thing. And you hope that they don't take the counter to whatever you're good at. But it is what I wasn't going to try and out funny Barjay when I went to Vancouver, because naturally Barjay is hilarious. So that's kind of the way that I look at those kinds of things, I guess.
That makes sense. And obviously, shouts out to Barjay. By absurd, I mean, you know, I love that. So, I mean, look who you're talking to. But yeah, no, that's very interesting. It's fun to really pick apart the strategy of this stuff, because a lot of the time I think the nuance gets lost with how crazy everybody's fans get. And chopping it up with you is great to get that sort of second layer of insight. So yeah, RBE killing it, doing a great job. KOTD, dope shit. And then last but not least, is it last? I don't know. But oh yeah, okay, we'll do Any Given Sunday.
All right.
URL announced their next big card. This is a big card? I don't know. It's a kind of big card.
Is this the full card? Have they announced the full card? I didn't know if there was going to be more announcements or not.
Is it just a small card?
Yeah.
Sunday URL. I should have this pulled up already. I was super prepared today. I got most of my tabs. Yeah.
Is it like five or six battles?
Yeah. Any given Sunday too. Yeah. Oh shit. I see Crucible stuff. Wow, I really dropped the ball here. Yeah, I think it's like, where the fuck is this shit? Any given Sunday too. Let me fucking Google this shit. For the people listening, I'm typing on my computer. No, it's showing me the fucking Al Pacino movie. Was there a sequel to that? Any given Sunday too. Okay, well, whatever. Fuck it. Yeah, it's like 4 or 5 battles ish. I don't remember. But I mean, it'll be fun. We're gonna have the boys over, do a watch.
Nice.
And we'll chopper you in. Sue Surf versus Cortez. Let's do it.
That's the one that a lot of people are talking about.
So you know what the fuck? Because Surf, you know, this could be like a John thing all over again. Do you want this match? You better be fucking ready for it. Sorry, but
yep.
I mean, Surf has done a 9-0 in his last 3 battles, or is it?
Yep. I think that's the consensus.
Right. So you want to step in front of that train. I like Cortez. You know, I've watched Cortez for a long time, and I think Cortez has got a lot of skill and ability, but I don't think anybody has him as anything but the underdog here.
Yeah, and that poses a very significant risk for Surf, considering he hasn't taken the battle for so long, considering he's put himself at the level that he has. It's one of those situations where if Cortez beats you for one of those 3 rounds, everyone expected you to 30 him. Is it like you lost? Do you have to 30 him to win the battle? And if you lose a round, is everyone going to be like, yeah, well, you lost a round to Cortez, though? And on top of that, is this a important enough match for Surf that he comes as prepared as he did against John, Twerk, and Calico? That's the tough thing for me, is I'm not sure if that's the case. We saw what he did against Lux. Lux was a huge name, and he sort of dropped the ball in that situation. And then having John after that, it was almost like, you know, you can't drop the ball against John. It's not, you just did against Lux and now you're going to do it against him. Whereas with Cortez, it's the reverse. You've had 3 killer performances. And so do you drop the ball this time? Do you take it as seriously? I have a feeling that Cortez does take a round. He strikes me as the type that has wanted it for so long that when he finally got it, he, you know, is gonna take advantage of the situation.
Do you think it's we've got an incoming real talk round? Do you think this is going to be a Cortez versus Hallhan moment for the culture?
Yeah, I definitely do. I think his third, and that's what everyone's expecting. And Surf is a smart enough guy that he probably knows that Cortez is going to have something wild in the third. And so if he was smart, he'd go second so that the recency bias stays on his side, especially after such a killer round. Hopefully it's not so good that it negates whatever he says in his third, but I think that you can expect something pretty crazy from Cortez in that third round.
Damn, we'll see. I mean, this is, like you said, you know, it's an uphill battle. And it's kind of nice. There's almost no pressure on Cortez, so he might find like that's an advantage. You know, people aren't expecting him to win. He just has to deliver 3 good rounds. But I don't think that's the kind of guy he is. I think he's the kind of guy who thinks he can beat Surf and is going to go for it. So yeah, I mean, we'll see. It's a very interesting match. Definitely out of left field. I don't think people were expecting that.
No, I don't think so either.
But yeah, I don't know. That's my commentary. Yeah, I don't know. Let's talk about Calico and chess.
Yeah, that's great. What a great match. I'm excited
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah, I don't know how this is gonna go down.
Me neither. Calico has been kind of killing it lately. I mean, his last few battles were
He beat
Hitman.
Geechee.
He beat Geechee.
I didn't see that coming.
I think he beat Hitman too.
They could be argued.
I wasn't very impressed with Hitman in that one.
Fuck, it was hard to watch that battle. I'm glad I'm not alone.
No, it was so hard to watch that battle. It was terrible.
We were watching that battle together. Everyone's like, what the fuck are they talking about? This is
literally.
so... Yeah. But man, I did not have him taking a round versus Geechee, and I think he fucking won.
I think so too.
So I don't know. I think we got a low expectations thing. It might just be me with Calico. But chess also high expectations, coming off what is potentially battle of the year last year. And then, we were talking about the other thing that he did, the one round of the fucking band blacked out.
Yeah, against Jack Boy.
And it's like, are we going to see a return to earth? Are we going to see you continue this momentum, or is it going to be forgettable? Or can you keep that energy going? Can you keep this like amazing, incredible layered writing and like just room destroying punches? Can you keep that going for 2 years? That's tough. That's a hard ask. People don't think about how much effort and how much, that really does take away from you.
Yeah. And one of the things that I've noticed in battling is that sometimes the opponent just works. What you're doing, like what Chess did against Easy, he might not be able to do against somebody else. That's just the opponent worked for him and worked with what he wanted to do, and it just everything clicked in that moment. And who knows the next opponent that he has, Calico, it might not be the same. He might not have the same angles or ideas that come to mind. And I think that and I guess that's the nice thing about having the variety in Battlerap is every battler says something different when they go against you, because you're the only one that can come up with your avenue or lane of thinking when it comes to that material. So I'm excited to see if he can do what he did against Easy against Calico again. I don't think there's anybody that can stop that motherfucker. He's crazy.
Yeah, he's really cementing himself in the highest echelon, the toppest of tiers. Mm-hmm. Man, I'll be using my words all pretty today. Yeah, so damn, exciting. Top 2 matches. I think Av versus Danny Myers is a good match. I'm not. Oh, here we go. Verse Tracker, come and save the day. Danny Myers is dope, obviously, and Av is really dope. So I got nothing on that battle. Looks like a dope battle.
Yeah, I think it'll be good. Both of them are really good at what they do. This is a very non-style clash. They both do very similar things, and I think that it's going to be a crazy punch fest. I just hope that Danny doesn't fucking scream the entire time. His last few battles, he's said something and then just started screaming, doing push-ups on stage. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Why can't I find this shit on Burst Tracker? Why is this shit not here? It's the 26th? What is it?
I think it's the 27th.
Panic Room, Queen of the Ring. Sky Tier. Shouts out to Sky Tier. 27th. This is fucking not here. Oh, Any Given Sunday too. It's the big one that says URL. I got you now. I am slowly going blind, just so people know. I got mad glasses. Yeah, only 4 battles announced, so probably you're right. Probably they will be announcing more. But
I think Lou and Charlie is on it too, right? It got moved.
Yeah, that's correct. So shouts out to Lou Castro. Big card.
That's my guy.
Go fucking take out Charlie Clips. That's a tall task because of the fucking mythology of Charlie Clips. I don't give a shit. I know like some people don't like him, and I get it. He's fucking so likable too. Yeah, he's just
he's a great commentator on the URL events when he's on screen with Surf and Nunu and that. Like he's funny, and he's a he's good to be on those sort of things.
Yeah, very natural, very relaxed and cool dude. So shouts out to Charlie Clips. But yeah, I mean, it's the age-old thing with Charlie Clips. If he comes prepared with 3 rounds that he wrote, damn, we're gonna have an amazing battle. But most likely, this is Lou Castro versus his freestyles. Am I wrong?
Yep. At least one of the rounds.
Am I out of pocket? I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Which is fine. I mean, Charlie Clips is a great freestyler, but yeah, I think this is more you're battling the mythos of Charlie Clips. You're not actually. I don't know if he's available to be battled anymore. You know, It's sort of like, I don't know if this is not really meant as an insult, but it's very similar to, I think, like Marv One. You know, when you battle Marv One, it's like, this is Detroit legend Marv One. And he's gonna write some shit for you, but he's gonna freestyle a lot. And I don't think he let's say, how do I say this? When Marv One battles on small leagues, I don't think he gives a fuck. You know, like he's gonna fucking beat you with his freestyles, and he has been doing it for so many years that it's not like, oh, Marv has fucking been prepping for a month on this battle. Marv is stressing out, you know, before the battle's nervous, making sure that that's not happening. That's not probably is never gonna happen again.
Yeah.
So
yeah, probably not.
So maybe that's it.
It was crazy to see him go on his run in the Grand Prix.
Yeah. I mean,
that was
talent.
Cool. Yeah.
You know, when you put people in a format like that forces them to be competitive, it's sort of, it brings the best out of people who are like that. People who are like, listen, I'm fucking Marv One. You know, I can come here and freestyle and beat you. But if, you know, there's money on the line and there's judges and shit like that, then yeah, I mean, get something different out of them. Mm-hmm. Very interesting. KOTD, look into that. Let's go.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Well, we got like 15 minutes left, so let's talk about it. Let's cross the ocean. Have we not been over the ocean yet?
We have yet to cross the pond.
Okay.
So
let us hop the Atlantic and discuss Premier Battles. They dropped their Academy winners and the teams. So very interesting picks here. They've got, you know, Team Koj versus Team Bizzo. If people don't know, this is the Academy is a development program that Premier Battles is hosting in the United Kingdom, where they've got 32 battlers, and then they narrowed it down to the top 16, and that 16 is split up into 2 teams of 8, and the team captains Koj, of course, and Bizzo Bond, the Premier Battles current champion and belt holder.
Yep. It's a very similar format to the Ultimate Fighter for those who aren't 100% sure, where you've got 2 guys who have picked their teams. Their teams are going to go at it, and there's bragging rights for whoever teams win. And then at the end, Bizzo and Koj are going to battle. I mean, I don't know if it's at the end, but Bizzo and Koj are going to battle for the title on Absolute, I think, at the end of 8.
That's true. Damn. Great. That's just storylines upon storylines. It's just fucking great work from Premier Battles. Good for them. These teams, you know, it's rookies, so it's kind of hard to, for the most part, rookies. It's kind of hard to assess. I don't expect you to be like, well, this guy's strengths and weaknesses are, but yeah, I mean, are there names in here that you know that you recognize?
Yeah. So what I can say after watching both team announcements is that I think for those that are not as heavy into the UK scene or don't necessarily have the Patreon for Premier Battles, you're going to notice that Bizzo's team has a lot more people that you might know. Like, I know Skomo just from Twitter. I know him from his previous battles. There's Yaneth. There's a couple other guys on his team that are more known, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Bard.
Rookies.
Yeah, and Kick Nelly, he runs Beast Anglia, which is another league, and Bard has been around since, you know, forever. So definitely, and I think that counts for something too. What do you got? This is what people want to know. Pathogenic, which fucking team is stronger to you right now on paper?
See, that's the hard thing is because I don't know a lot of the guys that are on Kojay's team. Whereas I do know names on Biz. So my bias has to go towards Bizzo.
Yeah.
Because I know those guys. But I'm just excited to see how it all turns out overall. I'm excited to see those new guys try and win. Because the thing about it's like the Ultimate Fighter in a sense where there's a lot of clout that's riding on that and a lot to push your name forwards. And especially because they put a pretty big prize on being this year Academy winner, being able to go to New York and battle on iBattle and that kind of stuff. So I think that these guys are going to come very well prepared and try and take each other's heads off.
Yeah.
But I have to go with Bizzo's team just because I know more of the guys that are on there. And I don't want to give a shit shake towards the Kojay guys, but
for sure. No, that makes sense. And you're right. I mean, there's more on the line, I think, this time than the previous time that they've done it. And the coaches are going to be very involved, obviously, because bragging rights and just the kind of people, Kojay and Bizzo are. I feel like this is fun to them. I'm getting the vibe that this is something that they really enjoying. And, you sort of, you put more work towards stuff when you are enjoying it like this.
Yep.
And great to see them in those roles of really developing talent and bringing the best out of guys. We'll see, how it works. I think you're right. Personally, Bizzo looks like on paper, he's got a team that has more experience, and experience is huge. But there is, I think, some dark horses on Kojay's team, guys that I really like. Title has a lot of experience and he's not super well known, but he could easily use that experience to win his match. Black T is not as experienced at all, actually. He's very inexperienced, but he's really good. He's a rapper, and he was doing crazy punches on his no lose chat battle that I watched. He's like really on top of this guy, knows how to fucking battle. Super impressed with that. So I think he's somebody to keep an eye on. Black T versus Kick Nelly is going to be a crazy match. And then Gas Buff, the guy who we just had on here, he's on Team Kojay again. Yeah, like you're saying, it's a lot of risky picks, guys who don't have a whole lot of experience but maybe have a lot of flair, or maybe they have something special to them that could end up winning the match. Really, really impressive stuff. I think that the one that everybody wants to see, if we're just being straight, is Will versus Yaneth.
Yeah, it kind of has like a weird main event feel to it.
Real.
Out of the matchups. I think that's going to be a good one.
Yeah, the history, a lot of people might not be familiar with it, but this is sort of like that this was available to be chosen as a battle. Kojay just said on the live that we just watched, he just fucking went for it. Like this is the battle we got to do. This is what people want to see. So for people unfamiliar with the history between Free Will and Yaneth, this is sort of what made Yaneth, to be honest. When you think about like what happened after that thread, after the incidents, which we'll get into, like Yaneth was just, he'd handled it so poorly on social media that it became he became like a topic of discussion. And, people would make fun of him and they would bully him and stuff like that, to the point where, but he just wouldn't go away and he wouldn't stop talking. And you're just like, fine. Then he has a battle and he gets beat badly, right? Or he's not good, right? And you're like, okay, so you're annoying and you're not good. And then he starts to get better and he starts to use his presence and the things that he's good at to his advantage. And he starts to write better, and you can't help but really cheer for the guy. He's created a character arc. Here he was at the beginning where this is a guy that we're thinking about, even though we don't think about him in the nicest way. We are thinking about him, and we've watched his trajectory go into some place where now he's like the underdog. It's like, come on, Yaneth, fight back. Fight back.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
I know. His latest battle versus Frost, he got beat, I think, pretty soundly. But I think that was a mismatch as well when you think about Frost's skill level and experience. But it wasn't a beat where you're like, I fucking hate Yaneth. It's a beat where like, man, Yaneth is a good guy.
Yeah.
He's just a guy. He's just out there and he's given it his best. He's given it his all. And that's kind of endearing. So, Will, on the other hand, since the incident, he had one great debut with Dub Scandal where he was just fucking flames. And then after that, not as much. It sort of wasn't there anymore, and you could tell that he sort of like fell out of love with it, and he went on, maybe did a retirement to do other things before he returned, and then jumped back into this. So we kind of don't even know where Will is, whereas Yaneth has been in the spotlight for the last however many months.
Yep.
So very interesting, lots of storylines.
And that's the best when a battle has a storyline, right? That it just makes it that much better.
That's what makes it the headliner for sure.
Yeah.
We won't get into the incident, but the incident is hilarious. If you're on Facebook and you don't know, what we're talking about, it's like, you know what's going on. Okay. So yeah, good job, Premier. You guys are doing great. I'm really excited for UK Battlerap. It feels like now
it's exploding. I love Premier battles. Briggsy and all those guys out there, all the UK guys, especially, like, I can't even thank them enough for everything. There's lots of people to thank, from my accident, but a lot of the UK guys reached out and said really nice, positive things that kept me going, and thank you as well for facilitating that. So
yeah, they very much feels like family, like we're all connected, Yeah, Premier Rap is full. All of the leagues, Beast Anglia. I don't want to list them all out because I don't want to forget one. And somebody will be like, "Oh, this guy fucking hates whatever league." But Dub Scandal all day. Know what's up. You know what's good. And they did drop one that we didn't talk about. They dropped because I didn't have it here on my fucking sheet.
Lester and Crow.
Speaking of Academy winners.
Yeah.
I don't think Crow was an Academy winner. I could be wrong.
I'm not 100% sure. Slester's funny, man.
He is when we're talking about, patience with comedy, like I think he took too much time in that battle, but he is fucking comfortable.
Yeah. And something it's interesting, we've been talking about being funny so much in this episode. Being funny is really hard to do in a battle. Like, I don't think that people that haven't, it is. Like I had somebody, I can't remember if it was my brother or my girlfriend. They were like, when you say something that you think is funny and the crowd laughs in a battle, you can tell because you have a very different response than when they react to a crazy bar. And I was like, that's because it's really hard to confidently write something that is going to make a group of people laugh. I can make a group of people react to something that's a crazy punch, but everybody's got different humor. And so writing something where everyone laughs and is like, that's hilarious, that gets you excited. And, Slester is very comfortable with that and knowing exactly what's going to make people laugh.
Yeah.
The man came out squawking.
So funny.
That's very hilarious.
Left field and brilliant. And he tied it together. You don't want bird bars. You shouldn't have fucking named yourself after a bird. Like, like irreverent. He seems very much like he's mastered that sort of that clowning style, and by manipulating expectation and surprise and holding people's attention throughout. I felt like it was a little unpolished. I felt like he was reaching a couple times maybe for his material, but when he's on, that's the kind of thing, like very similar to O'Shea. When you get that shit rolling, you can really like rev the crowd up and really get them to a point where they're dying. And it's really powerful for sure. And he has that.
He definitely does.
Fun battle for sure. Shouts out to Slester. Would like to see how he progresses.
Yeah.
Shouts out to Scottish Battlerap, Iron Bars, and all those guys. I don't think Slester's much of an Iron Bars guy, but it's Scottish Battlerap goes, I think, overlooked because there's so much focus on the UK and even on Ireland, to be honest. But they've got, and because Soul doesn't battle in fucking Scotland for some reason. For some reason, he doesn't. I don't know. Maybe a location thing, but it's like Mackenzie, Aker, Slester,
and that's it.
Yeah, they're. I know there are guys, but they. Yeah, I don't know. Good luck to the Scottish scene having representation, growing their shit, because we're all in this together.
Yes.
But yeah, fucking great battle. Shouts out to Premier. I think that's it for this week. That's everything that happened, and God knows there's going to be more announcements next week as we get closer to more large events that are happening near the end of the month. I know for a fact there will be King of the Dot announcements for the finals, which is going to be a lot of fun because, and I don't want to give too much away, but when you think about it, KOTD has been not really in control of their schedule as far as booking battles for the last year. So there are all kinds of matches that they can put together now with their hands free, with their hands untied. I'd be using it. Good. Oh, good today. But yeah, it's going to be exciting, and we'll probably check in next week and see what's happened. Hopefully, there will be some movement on that. But until then, thank you so much for jumping on. Oh, we totally didn't do the thing. Fuck. Oh, okay. I know, right? What an idiot.
Bro, I've been drinking this motherfucker the whole time, too.
Dude, okay, what it is, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to experience this to the fullest, I know you do, because you who's watching this right now, if you don't know, let me tell you, you're out of above average intelligence. You're here because you're a cultured person, and you thrive off of being in the know and being intelligent and having a better perspective. And that's what you get when you watch the show. And so in that spirit, in that vein, to enjoy this that much further, what you want to do is you want to grab your juice, your water, your milk, your beers, and join us now for the community cheers. Yeah, cheers. Community cheers. Clink.
Cheers. There we go.
So much better. Got to put that in front of the show, but we'll hammer out the kinks. I'd like to thank the lovely Pathogenic, my guest, for joining me today.
No worries. Thank you for having me
on Twitter and Instagram.
Yes, Pathogenic GG on Twitter, Jacob_Gregoric on Instagram.
Yes to both. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and you can click the Discord link that's in there as well. I wouldn't say like and subscribe, but all of the cool people I know have already done it. So that's really up to you at this point. That's our show for this week. And thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
Peace out.